Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We always try to find those cutting edge topics, the stuff that's really shaping the future of work, and today is no exception. Today we're diving into something that might not sound super glamorous on the surface.
Oh, I think you might be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I think this one has the potential to be a real game changer.
Okay, you've got me intrigued now. So spill the beans, what are we tackling today?
SOPs, standard operating procedures.
Okay, SOPs. Yeah, I've definitely got some experience with those. Not always the most thrilling read, let's be honest.
That's exactly what we're going to unpack. Why SOPs are often a pain point, and more importantly, how AI is stepping in to make them, well, less painful.
All right, I'm all ears. We've got a whole stack of articles, podcasts, even a white paper, all pointing to this idea that AI could revolutionize SOPs.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that SOPs are all about precision, right? Consistency.
Eh,
Especially in industries like pharmaceuticals manufacturing, where a small mistake can have huge consequences.
Makes sense. High-stakes
Yeah.
stuff. But here's the irony. Traditional SOPs often become so complex that they actually contribute to the problem.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Once spent hours trying to decipher a 50-page SOP for a simple piece of lab equipment. Talk about a headache.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And that's where AI starts to shine.
Hmm.
Think of it like an editor for your procedures, making them clear, concise, user-friendly.
Okay, so like a Grammarly for SOPs, but way more powerful.
Exactly. One of the key technologies at play here is natural language processing, or NLP. It's basically how AI understands and manipulates human language.
So it can actually read and interpret those super technical SOPs.
Yep, it can analyze the text, identify redundant information flag, overly complex language, and even suggest simpler alternatives while preserving the core meaning.
Whoa, that's impressive. Like having an AI writing coach to make your SOPs crystal clear.
And it goes beyond just simplifying the language. AI can actually restructure SOPs too, breaking them down from these long linear documents into smaller, more digestible modules.
Interesting. So instead of one giant document, it's more like a choose your own adventure type of thing.
Kind of. Let's say you have an SOP for equipment maintenance covering everything from routine cleaning to emergency shutdowns. AI could break that down into separate modules, each focused on a specific task.
So you could just click on calibrating the sensor and boom, you're taken directly to that specific section. No more endless scrolling.
Exactly. Much more efficient. And speaking of efficiency, how do you think AI tackles the issue of keeping SOPs up to date with all those ever-changing regulations?
Well, that's a huge challenge, especially in industries like pharmaceuticals where compliance is so critical.
You're right. And that's where AI really shines. It can monitor regulatory databases in real time and automatically flag any parts of an SOP that need updating.
Okay, so it's like a built-in compliance officer constantly making sure everything's up to code. That would save so much time and hassle.
Exactly. And the best part is it's not just theory. We've got some amazing real-world examples from the materials you sent.
Okay, let's hear it. Give me a success story.
All right, remember that 100-page equipment cleaning SOP we talked about?
Oh, yeah, the one that practically required a PhD to understand?
Well, one company used AI to revamp it. They managed to condense it down to 40 pages. Not only shorter, but written in plain language with visuals like diagrams and flowcharts.
Wow, so they basically turned a technical manual into a user-friendly guide.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And the results speak for themselves. They saw a 30% reduction in errors, and onboarding time for new employees was cut drastically.
That's incredible. It's not just about saving paper, it's about empowering employees to do their jobs better and faster.
And that's a key takeaway here. AI-powered SOPs aren't just about simplifying documents. They're about improving processes, reducing errors, and making work easier for everyone involved.
I like that, making work easier. This is all super promising, but I'm also curious about the human element here.
Of course. What are you thinking?
Well, some people worry about becoming too reliant on technology, right? What about critical thinking skills if you're just following AI instructions all the time?
That's a valid concern, and one we definitely need to explore further as we delve deeper into the world of AI-powered SOPs.
Yeah, I think it's crucial to find that balance between leveraging the power of AI and fostering human skill.
Absolutely. That's a sweet spot we need to aim for.
This is already shaping up to be a fascinating deep dive. We've seen how AI is simplifying SOPs today, and I'm eager to see what the future holds.
Me too. From what I've seen in these resources, the potential is truly mind-blowing.
Okay, let's take a quick pause here, and when we come back, we'll explore those futuristic possibilities that are just over the horizon.
All right, so we've seen how AI can make existing SOPs easier to use. But But that's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, so what's below the surface? What's the really mind-blowing stuff?
AI can actually create SOPs from scratch.
Wait, really? Like entirely on its own?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It all starts with data.
Okay, so where's this data coming from?
Think of a manufacturing line. Sensors are everywhere, tracking temperature fluctuations, equipment performance, even the time it takes for each step in the process.
So it's like the process itself is generating the data for the SOP.
Exactly. It's a constant stream of information feeding into the AI.
Okay, so instead of relying on static documents, the AI is learning from the live processes as they happen.
That's exactly it. The AI then takes all this real-time data and maps it to predefined SOP templates that meet industry standards.
So it's like having an incredibly organized assistant who knows exactly how to structure and format an SOP for your specific industry.
That's a great way to put it. And remember those constantly changing regulations we talked about.
Oh yeah, how does the AI make sure these new SOPs are compliant?
That's where things get really interesting. The AI is also connected to regulatory databases, like those from the FDA or EA.
Okay, so it's constantly checking the generated SOP against the latest requirement.
Exactly, ensuring compliance in real time. No more scrambling to update manuals every time a regulation changes.
That's incredible. I can see how this would be a total game changer, especially in those highly regulated industries.
It is. The Speech podcast actually highlights a great example from a vaccine manufacturing facility. You can imagine all those sensors tracking temperature equipment, status batch progression.
Oh yeah, that would be an overwhelming amount of data for a human to process.
Right. But the AI system not only collects and interprets the data, it actually identifies any trends or anomalies. Things like a piece of equipment needing more frequent maintenance or a step in the process taking longer than expected.
Wow, so it's not just creating documents, it's analyzing the data to actually improve the processes themselves.
That's right. Continuous improvement. The AI then uses all of this analysis to choose the most appropriate SOP template, making sure the document is tailored to the specific needs of that process. And of course, it's all integrated with those regulatory databases to ensure compliance every step of the way.
It's like having a built-in compliance officer constantly on the lookout for potential issues.
Matt, you could say that. The end result is a complete compliant SOP generated in a fraction of the time it would take humans, sometimes less than a minute.
That's insane. It really highlights how AI can streamline even the most complex processes. But I'm wondering, aren't AI-generated SOPs also likely to be more accurate and consistent than those created by humans?
Absolutely. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't get distracted. And it doesn't make subjective judgments. It follows the rules and applies them consistently every single time.
So it's basically eliminating human error from the equation.
To a large extent, yes. That means higher quality SOPs, better compliance, fewer errors, and a more efficient operation overall.
Sounds like a win-win. But it's important to talk about the human element here. Are we heading towards a future where AI takes over SOP creation completely?
That's a great question and one that a lot of people are asking. While AI is certainly capable of handling many of the tasks associated with SOPs, the human element is still critical.
Okay, so it's more about AI augmenting human capabilities rather than replacing them entirely.
Exactly. Think of it as a partnership, where AI handles the heavy lifting, allowing humans to focus on strategy analysis, those nuanced decisions that require human expertise.
So it's about freeing up humans from the tedious, time-consuming tasks so they can focus on the bigger picture.
Exactly. In that speech podcast example we were talking about, the AI generates that initial SOP draft, but a human quality team still reviews and approves it, making any necessary adjustments.
So humans are still in the loop providing that final check and balance.
Absolutely. It's a powerful combination. Human intelligence and artificial intelligence working together to achieve better outcomes. And, we've talked about how AI can generate SOPs from scratch, but the speech website also mentions something about making SOPs more engaging, even interactive.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about that. Tell me more.
They talk about incorporating elements that you might find in online learning platforms. Things like video demonstrations, interactive quizzes, and even progress trackers.
Wow, so instead of just reading through pages of text, you could actually watch a video that shows you how to perform a task.
Exactly. It's about making SOPs less intimidating and more like interactive tutorials.
I love that. Learning by doing, but in a safe and controlled environment. It sounds like they're really trying to boost engagement and make sure people actually retain the information.
That's right. Traditional SOPs often suffer from an engagement problem. No one really enjoys reading through pages of dense text. But by adding multimedia and interactive elements, SOPs become more engaging, easier to understand, and more likely to be remembered.
Plus, the company can actually track how employees interact with the SOP, see how they're performing on the quizzes, It provides valuable feedback on how well people are understanding the material.
It creates a built-in feedback loop for continuous improvement. And that's one of the most powerful aspects of AI in this context. It's not just about automation. It's about using data and insights to optimize processes and make learning more effective.
This is blowing my mind. We've covered so much ground. From simplifying existing SOPs to AI writing them from scratch and even making them interactive, it's clear that AI's impact on the world of SOPs is huge.
It really is. And we're just at the beginning. The potential for AI to revolutionize how we create, manage, and use SOPs is truly enormous. But while the future is exciting, let's bring it back to the present for a minute. What are some key things people should consider if they're ready to explore AI-powered SOPs today?
That's a great question. I'd imagine data infrastructure is a big one.
You're absolutely right. AI relies on data. So having a robust system for collecting, storing, and managing data is crucial. This means thinking about data quality, accessibility, and security.
And of course, you need to choose the right AI platform for your needs. There's so many options out there.
There are. Some key factors to consider when choosing a platform would be scalability, ease of use, and integration capabilities. Scalability because you want a platform that can grow with your company. Ease of use because you want it to be intuitive and user-friendly. And integration capability so that the platform can work seamlessly with your existing systems.
Right. It's like finding the right tool for the job.
Exactly. You need to make sure the platform fits your specific needs and the requirements of your industry. But technology is only part of the equation. Companies also need to consider the human side of this transition.
That's such an important point. It's not just about throwing technology at a problem. We need to think about the people who will be using these systems.
Absolutely. It's crucial to involve employees in the process from the start. Communicate the benefits clearly, address any concerns, and provide adequate training and support.
It's not about imposing technology on people, but about empowering them to work more effectively.
That's right. It's about fostering a culture of collaboration and innovation, where everyone is on board with embracing new technology. And remember, implementing AI-powered SOPs isn't a one-time project. It's an ongoing process.
It's a journey, not a destination. And AI is constantly evolving, so companies need to stay updated on the latest advancements and be willing to adapt.
That's a great way to put it. It's about embracing a culture of continuous learning and improvement, always seeking out new ways to leverage AI to make SOPs even more valuable.
You know, we've covered a lot of ground talking about the technical aspects of AI and SOPs, but I think what really drives it home are those real-world stories, the examples of how this technology is actually making a difference.
I completely agree. Those real-world examples, they bring it to life, show the impact not just in theory but in practice.
Exactly. Like that pharmaceutical company we keep talking about, the one that used AI to simplify that massive 100-page SOP down to 40 pages.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. It's not just about the shorter document. It's about the impact on the employees who actually use it every day.
Right. It shows how AI can empower employees by making their work easier, less prone to errors, and ultimately more enjoyable.
And it goes beyond just making existing SOPs easier to understand. We've also got those examples of AI creating entirely new SOPs from scratch.
Right, pulled directly from the data generated by the processes themselves, like that vaccine manufacturing facility with all those sensors.
Exactly. In that case, the AI isn't just documenting the process, it's learning from it in real time, constantly analyzing the data to identify patterns, potential issues, opportunities for improvement, and that it uses all of that to generate an SOP that's perfectly tailored to that specific process.
It's like having an AI assistant that's constantly learning and adapting, making sure the SOPs are as accurate and efficient as possible.
And the best part is, this technology isn't limited to just manufacturing. Think about any industry where SOPs are crucial. Healthcare, finance, education, even government. The potential applications are huge.
It really is mind-blowing to think about all the different ways AI can be used to improve processes and empower people.
And that's the beauty of AI. It's adaptability. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It can be tailored to the specific needs of each industry and organization.
So for our listeners who are intrigued by all of this and want to explore AI-powered SOPs, where do they even begin?
Well, I think the most important thing